Hi good life family, what's good and welcome back to the YouTube channel. Welcome to a new video. On this channel I make awesome and amazing movie reviews as well as story times and all the other good stuff. So get subscribed, to join the good life family. Today I am going to be reviewing the movie Bare to Beauty, currently showing on Ruth Kadiri 247 TV here on YouTube. I'm going to start off this one by taking a deep breath because Ruth Kadiri is obviously a YouTube Nollywood movie sweetheart, so I don't want to offend anybody, I don't want to get anybody pissed, but I have to say what I have to say. Firstly, the movie stars Ruth Kadiri and Deza the Great as the main characters in this particular movie as per usual, as well as Genevieve, Edwin, and some other, I think, South African actors that you and I don't know, so I don't think I have to mention their names. If you see the movie, you see them inside. Ruth Kadiri plays the role of Cassie, who is the daughter of a rich CEO, and she also works at the father's company, and she has a boyfriend named Ray, who we later find out is into some kind of scheme with her PA Sarah to steal a lot of money from her and her father and possibly dupe them of their company and elope and start their lives because they happen to be in a secret affair with each other. They're performing magic behind her back. Williams, on the other hand, the character of who is played by Deza the Great, as you can see in this particular movie, happens to be an old schoolmate who she runs into at some point in this particular movie. He comes into the picture and into their lives, and one way or the other was able to find out about the plans of Ray and Cassie's PA, who is Sarah, the character of who is played by Genevieve Edwin in this particular movie, and he exposes them. That's just a basic, like a little bit of narration of what the story is just all about. But to get the full details, you probably have to go watch the movie. Go watch the movie so you can understand what we're talking about here. My problem with this movie is not just the fact that the storyline is cliche. Right? I don't have a problem with cliche storylines as long as you're able to make something creative out of your cliche storyline, like make it interesting. A regular storyline, because there's hardly, like, I've noticed that there's a little to no creativity going on the space of it, if you want to be honest. They're basically just recycling the same storyline over and over again. But the good thing about it is that there's some people that are able to make their own to be very, like, the same storyline, but they make it more interesting, more entertaining, and it's fun to watch. It just basically takes your mind off the fact that it's a cliche story, right? But then there are others like this one. My problem was also the fact that the overall plot of this movie was quite predictable. Like, it was quite obvious from the get-go what was about to unfold in this particular movie, right? For me, or in my own opinion, it lacked depth, creativity, and that is just basically to say the least. I also had a problem with that particular background love song that they were playing. Quite alright. The song was actually nice to listen to, like it was easy on the ears, right? It was a sweet song. The person that sang the song had a very nice voice. But tell me why, or tell me how someone is trying to vindicate himself from a very dicey situation at work where he was set up, and then people are playing love song, singing love you to the moon and back. How does that come into the matter? It was not like, don't stress me. This is 2025. I beg. I think it's God beg now. How is somebody just struggling with issues at work and then you are busy playing love song? And my problem with that love song is that it was not even relevant in the movie because nobody was in love there. Because it's like they actually intended for Williams and Cassie to fall in love in this movie at some point. But then he now started looking to me as if they forgot that these people were supposed to actually be in love. And they just decided to leave it like that and end the movie without them actually falling in love. Because tell me, what was the significance of that car seat scene where he was trying to help her put her seatbelt? Did that not give vibe of people that were actually warming up to fall in love in this movie? Because what was the whole eye contact all about? And I was waiting to see that whole love unfold, because we already know it's Ruth Kadiri, Deza the Great, they must be in love in the movie, which I don't have a problem with because they actually look good together and they actually do very well together. I don't have a problem with it. But tell me why this movie is warming us up to these people falling in love. With even the soundtrack that they are playing, they are giving us an idea that something is about to happen, and nothing eventually happened. The whole scene of the both of them doing that thing that is inside the car, the whole massage scene, the whole eye contact they were giving each other, and Ray, that's Cassie's boyfriend, this particular movie, even said something about him having his eyes on the girl because he could see things. I didn't say I could see it in his own eyes, but I see the movie now forgot that these people were supposed to be in love and then just moved on with their lives and as if nothing happened. The movie ended. And I know, I say, talk. When I talk about this movie not really being creative, it's to sound like I'm just saying it because I feel like talking. But like, okay, now, talk about creativity. Can anybody explain to me? I don't know, like, I'm not saying this from a point of trying to be funny. I'm saying this from a point of I need somebody to help me understand better. Can anybody explain to me what kind of document that the PA to a CEO of a company will possibly sign that will make them to lose a contract? Like, I just want to have like a slight idea of what possibly could have been the contents of that particular document. How did the document even, like, people should know. Let's not be doing like that. This is 2025. I'm using God to beg all of us. Let's just not be doing this kind of things in movies this year. I mean, come on. there is literally 1,001 ways they could have set this guy up. They could have done all of these things in this movie without that whole issue of he signed the document and then they lost the contract. How does that even make sense? And the annoying part of the whole idea of them setting him up and saying he signed a document that made them to lose a contract was not the fact that whole thing that they set him up was not even relevant in the movie. It was not relevant. Like, it literally played zero roles in that movie. Reasons being that, number one, nothing happened at the end of the day. After they set him up, nothing happened. That's one. Number two, they literally found out, like, let me just say 2 or 3 other scenes later. That whole idea or incident of setting the guy up was not necessary. It played no role to the movie at all. I'm talking about things that were unnecessary in this movie. Can anybody tell me the whole drama between him and his girlfriend that we never got to see in this movie? How was that necessary? What was the significance of that drama to the movie? Then the whole idea of Ray and Serena coming together to now form an alliance and call his girlfriend and tell the girl that he's cheating on her. How that whole drama, that whole thing that happened, how was that in any way significant or relevant to the movie? Do you know what I was thinking initially when they brought up that whole drama? I was thinking that okay, maybe this one will now make the both of them to break up, and from there him and Cassie will now begin to, but they now ended up not, I'm not wondering. Okay, so you see why I said they, is as if they forgot that these 2 people were supposed to, in the movie, because you people did all of these things only for it to now end up ending the movie and nothing happened between the both of them. I mean, anyway, it's just my own opinion, Sha, and it's probably me with my own plenty wahala. So let's just talk about the performances of the actors. That one. I have something good to say about that one. First of all, I think Deza the Great is a very good actor. I have not really seen him in any other movie that is not produced by Ruth Kadiri. But for what I've seen, with regards to his performance in all of her movies I've been watching over time, I think the guy is a good actor, right? For me, I feel like you would see an obvious intentionality in his acting, in his portrayal of character. Like, from his facial expressions, his overall posture, his body language, his demeanor. Like, you can just see that this man, his head is in the game. Like, he's not just acting because they call him an actor. He's acting because it's coming from inside of his heart. In as much as this movie was not that much of a serious film like that required for him to be in any kind of element and to go crazy on, like, acting. But from the little that I saw in this movie, from the way he portrayed his character, from his facial expressions, from his timing, his responses to the way people were talking, the way he behaved, you just know that he knows what he's doing. His head is in the game. I like the guy because, first of all, he's good looking. Aside from the fact that he's good looking, I think he's really a very fantastic actor. I think he did so well in this particular movie. You have to give him his kudos. Like, he did so good, right? And also for the guy and the actor that played the role of Ray in this movie, I don't know his name, right? But I'm going to put it somewhere on the screen so you all can see it and just probably can stalk his Instagram because it's actually an eye candy. But on a more serious note, I think that guy did good. This is my first movie ever of seeing him anywhere on my screen. I've never seen the guy before. I don't even know his name, but I think he did commendably good in this particular movie. Just his posture, his mannerisms, and every single thing that he did in this movie, basically, just like I said about Deza the Great. I love how it was really in tune, with like the overall tone and the theme of this particular movie. I think the guy is a good actor. As for Ruth Kadiri and Genevieve Edwin, for their portrayal of character in this particular movie, I'll just say they did sufficiently good, considering that the movie did not really require them to do a lot of things. They're basically just 2 babes chilling, in the movie. They didn't do too much, they didn't do too little. I think their acting, their energy in this movie and everything was just sufficient, and it was in line with the movie in general. The only actor that I have issues with in this movie is the actor that played the role of Chief in this movie. That is Cassie's father. I don't think that man is an actor in real life, because maybe in an actual South African movie he would act better, but this particular movie, see, let me just reserve all that I have to say and just say in simple terms, he's not that much of a good actor. Anyway, that's basically all I have to say about this particular movie. I think this particular movie, a lot of people might enjoy it. This movie, right? If you've been on my channel a lot, you watch my reviews, you know that I talk about some movies that are really interesting, and then there are other movies that you watch because you love the actors. This particular movie happens to fall into the category of a movie that you watch because you like the actors in the movie. So if you're a fan of Ruth Kadiri and you like Deza the Great, or you like Genevieve Edwin because she's actually really pretty, right? You like those people, you like this particular group of people that Ruth Kadiri has been using to act movies of recent, and you like that location, you should probably go check it out because of your love for them, right? Check it out and just show your support and that. But as for whether the movie is interesting, it's really up to you to decide. If you find it interesting, that means it's interesting. If you don't find it interesting, that means it's not interesting. But for me, how do I feel about it? I guess you should probably already know by now, right? For an overall rating, I think the movie is good enough to deserve a 4/10, mainly because of the effort that they put into the movie. I think that the visual concept of the film is great, and it was actually beautiful to look at. The color grading of the movie, I love how the color grading made everybody to look really pretty and whatnot. The location of this film was actually really fire. I think this movie is shot in South Africa. That's what I heard. That's what I saw from one of the comments. I don't know, but I mean, obviously that's not Nigeria. So the movie is actually beautiful, a beautiful film. The wardrobe, the dressing of all of the actors, top notch, beautiful looking actors and actresses. The sound, that is like the audio of the movie as well as the video quality, really in sync, top notch, and I think it's really beautiful. So they deserve a 4/10. The only place that they fell was in the story, the creativity of the story and its execution. The actors themselves, they did commendably good. They played their roles well. The only problem is that the movie was not really that interesting, was not really such a wonderful one, and there's only so much that fantastic acting can do for a movie that's not interesting to start with. So the problem is not with the actors, the problem is with the film. The movie was not very interesting, but the actors were good. That brings us to the end of this particular movie review. It brings us to the end of this particular video. If you're still here up until this point, it could only mean one thing, and you and I know what it means. So do the needful. Click on the subscribe button to join the Good Life family if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Turn on your post notifications to get notified whenever I put out new awesome and amazing content like this. And that's basically all I have to say. So thank you so very much for stopping by. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one, I guess. So I love you all dearly, and yeah, bye.